the most embarrassing thing that you could possibly be, arrested for or charged with is being a pervert. That's got to be the most embarrassing. Like you're better off killing someone at that point. A pervert is worse than killing someone. I'm sorry, because people just are like, what a loser. You know what I mean? You're like, it's like there's nothing that can redeem you for being a pervert or a pedophile or anything like that. That's got to be the worst. So knowing that, why would you in the gym training someone, even if you're into the girl or whatever, you think you're going to score a point, you don't do it in the gym. It's just everyone's looking at you. People, you don't know who's filming you. You never want to be brandished a pervert, I guess, unless you're a pervert. I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. You're funny.
Like I said, do you like my tail? Like I said.
Welcome back to Iron Rage. I'm Dave Palumbo, joined as always by Lee.
I'm just getting ready for my guest pose. I'm getting ready. See, look, I can cover the bad arm. Look.
No, my suggestion was that Jake would throw you a free plane ticket, a hotel, a food stipend, and $5,000, and Lee will guest pose as Superman at the Olympia as a special feature. Yeah. And he says he will wear his Bucky arm on the other arm so that he doesn't look like he's disproportionate by any means, right? I thought the Superman costume has muscles in it, though.
It does, yeah, but this is just in case I can do two. I can come back for an encore. See, look at this. It's like once I put it on and clip it all up, I'll be right.
Can you hit a double bicep at that thing?
I got to say, thank Soulside Cosplay. Remember, made this for us, and when he made those masks too for us when COVID was around. But I think this is look how big my forearm thing is. I think that could be the old one. That's like my forearm mold. But I got one here. I think this is my new forearm mold because my forearm.
Like you're going into the movie Gladiator is what you look like.
These are my forearm molds.
They look. They might be disproportionate to the rest of your body. I don't know. They might make the right side look too big, almost.
Look how thick it is. No, this is actually bigger than. Oh, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one, Dave.
Ah, there we go.
There we go. Now I'm right. I just got to clip it off. I'm ready to go.
No, seriously, my suggestion was that, that Lee would be very popular as a guest poser. I think Kai would be a great guest poser too at the Olympia, because
Kai's got costume. Really, this is tight on my bad arm. When you see yourself, you don't realize how big your arm is, but that's tight on my arm. And look how wide that is. So when I actually see something, how wide my arm is, I'm thinking, hey.
Was that really the measurement of your arm?
Yeah, because you had to do it on the 3D printer. Like if I get my arm in here now, I got to undo it to put it in. But if I clip that on, it's tight in there.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Kai's got costumes. We could do like a skit. Kai could be like a villain. I could be Superman. It would be fucking great.
There you go. That is a good idea. I didn't even think of that. That's even a better idea. Kai could be
Kai could make like a really good Venom character or something.
That's right. Yeah.
Or Predator. Yeah. Predator. Get a Predator.
There you go. Predator. He could even do Lex. He could do the Black Lex Luthor even if he wanted to.
Yeah. I'm just putting my thing away. I'm here still.
All right. I sent Lee. I sent Lee. I had an escaped water monitor in my snake room. I should probably.
I got my Homelander outfit too there, so I can do a few encores.
You could, yeah. I was gonna say you could come out in multiple costume changes if you really had to. I mean,
Yeah,
if they really
I could,
wanted
like,
you to go crazy.
the coup de grace one we'll save. That's a big word. The coup de grace. We'll save
Coup de
that
grace.
for the end with Kai and that. But in between, like the women's and that, I could do like the Bucky and then do something else. But at the end, the big Superman muscle suit.
Well,
They
what
get
they
a
should
phone
do is
box on stage. The phone box, I can go into it.
you've already done the phone booth. I have a better idea. Well, I'd like you to reenact the scene when Superman's dead and then he comes back from the dead.
Yes.
I think that would be better. If you could do that.
Yeah. A light can hit me on stage like a big bright light.
Right.
And then the cables raise me up off the stage.
That's right. That would be amazing. Like you're flying.
And then the music changes, the lightning flashes, and Kai comes out as the evil villain.
There you go.
Oh, this is going to be great. We've got it all set up. Jake, where are you?
Instead of Jake having that LED, because that LED back screen show that they always have out there that ruins all the video, that thing probably costs 50 grand right there. If he just put that money into you and Kai, it would be the choreography that you guys, because you guys are both creative. You guys would sit down and say, all right, this is what we want. We need lines to pick me up, and Kai wants to come out.
And you could have they could have like a painted backdrop of Metropolis or something. Someone could do that, or just project Metropolis and then have scaffolding there. Because remember, Kai did that routine once where he started climbing the scaffolding.
Yeah, that's true.
So he could be up on the scaffolding like Venom hanging down.
Maybe you could change your motif. I mean, usually you're Superman. What about, would you do Spider-Man ever?
Yeah, or the Punisher.
Yeah. I mean, you got to keep the villains and the heroes together.
Yeah.
I would like to see. Actually, I'd like to see Kai as Octo.
He'll make a good Octo because he gets in all those positions and shit.
Yeah, that would be Dr. Octavius versus Spider-Man. You could be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's a bit wimpy though, Dave. He's like small and I'll come borrow your son's Iron Man helmet so Jarvis can open up.
There you go. You could be Iron Man too. That's true. Yeah. So
the whole show's just going to be Lee and Kai. Fuck the
Lee in costumes. Yeah. It's Lee reliving his childhood from Halloween.
It's the Lee and Kai variety hour.
Hey, I'd pay it. That would be worth the price of it. I'd actually go to that show. I would drive to Orlando for that one.
Well, it would be entertaining if it said like Lee and Kai are going to do 3 or 4 different skits throughout the show, but they're well choreographed and all that sort of stuff. It would be entertaining. Then you could get other body.
You'd have to come in early. You'd have to come in 2 hours, 2 weeks early, probably, and practice.
Yeah, but that'd be okay a week early to get all the rehearsal done. But then you could use some of the other bodybuilders too, as like just people on stage that you're working around, like general public type thing.
I think that if you guys seriously, if you choreographed a routine together, like with posing versus and if they had good lights and they really went all out on the whole.
Well, the thing is, too, they do it like Tony Doty did once at the Australian Pro Show. I think Kenny Jones actually posed. Crazy Kenny Jones.
Oh, did he really? Oh, interesting.
The routine was he had like police sirens and that, but Tony had the lights coming down like a helicopter spotlight looking for him with the police sirens and that. So you could have all stuff like that. It'd be great.
Yeah, I think that we're onto something here, and every year they can have a different like theme or whatever for the Olympia. I mean, Wayne used to do it for years with the Night of Champions. It'd be nice to have an Olympia theme, don't you think?
Well, I think it would be good too because superheroes these days, people associate whatever they are with the muscular characters in superheroes and that X-Men type things and stuff like that.
Absolutely. They can get Sean Ray to be Ant-Man.
Yeah, or there's a new character coming out called Turd Burger. Maybe he could he could be Grimace from McDonald's. Barney. He could be Barney the dinosaur.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, I wanted to ask you something. Dennis James had Steve Weinberg.
Oh, hold on. Before we go on, I want you to know. Remember, I was sick the other day. I'm still sort of sick, and you know what I think it is. I think I've got this gastro bug because every time I eat, fucking goes through me like water. I drink it. Then last night my stomach was that bloated. I felt like I'd swallowed razor blades. When you're just that tight. I'm burping and farting, and then I'm shitting. But you know where it came from? This is where it came from, and I'll tell you why. On the way home from Sydney the other day, I stopped at the Twin Servos, just like a halfway point, and there's a McDonald's. Now, it wasn't the McDonald's because they're closing down. They're going to make it a Hungry Jack's. But the toilets and bathrooms there are like every comment is just talking about how filthy they are. And it's true, I went in there. But when I went in there, my stomach was killing me. I thought, oh, fuck, I might have to take a shit. So I turned around and sat down, and guess what? The seat was wet.
Don't you put toilet paper on the seat before you sit down?
I was in that much of a rush to go because I thought I was going to shit my pants. I didn't look. So I sat down. I went, oh, fucking wet. So beside the toilet, they had that antiseptic spray that you wipe the seat with.
Yeah.
So I got that antiseptic spray, wiped all my legs and shit after it. So I'm wiping my legs. And then I'm doing this and doing that, flush the chain. And now I'm that hungry. I go out and I eat my burger and I forget to wash my hands. No wonder I got a gastro. No wonder I got
probably have Clostridium difficile. Do you have stinky poops too? I mean, are they really stinky?
No,
like rotten eggs?
Because I've been doubling up on the Fiberlize, hoping I'm going to fucking get whatever it is.
You should go get a probiotic too, because you're gonna.
I got a good probiotic there. It's got like 60 million or something things in it.
Yeah, you better take that too.
Then the other night, not last night, the night before, I woke up about 10 o'clock and I'm like, I think I'm going to throw up. Should I go put my fingers in my throat? No, because I'm always a violent. When I throw up, I bust the blood vessels in my eyes. So I laid there, I fell back to sleep. 2 hours later, I wake up. And it's winter. Today's the first day of winter here. And my pillow is just drenched with sweat. I mean, just covered in sweat. So I've got something. I'm like, oh, COVID, probably COVID.
I hope you don't have COVID. I don't think you can catch COVID from a bathroom, though.
Yeah.
You're going to be like me, and you're going to have an IV in your arm. You know, you're going to be getting antibiotics. You know.
Well, that thing there, like after I ate the burger, I thought, oh fuck, I forgot to wash my hands.
How could you not wash your hands after you had to clean up all that shit?
Because I was just thinking it was so dirty. I wanted to get out that I just took off out. But plus, too, maybe because I used that antiseptic spray to wipe the back of my legs, because it smelt so cleanly, I must have thought I washed my hands and I fucking left. So
if they would have swabbed that toilet seat, probably and put it on a petri dish, you probably would have grown an alien.
It's not the toilet seat I worry about. It's the lock on the door, because how many people wipe their ass, could get shit on their fingers, and then turn that lock.
You're supposed to use a paper towel to do that, yeah.
So I'm eating fillet of fish and hamburgers with fucking fecal matter.
Think of you know what I always tell people, think of the grossest person you know, and that could have been the person that was like, you know.
I just don't get how public toilets are. Like, if I've ever been to a public toilet and they're busy and I use the thing, I always lift the toilet seat. But if by chance I did piss on the seat, I always wipe it and clean up. I don't know how these people can just walk out. Some don't flush. There's piss all over the floor. I'm like, it's fucking disgusting. It's like, even on a plane, you've been on a plane and the floor's wet. I'm thinking, what the fuck do you people do? You just go in there and fucking piss all over like this. I'm like, so
they can't control. They can't control their penis. I guess I don't know.
I think it's women though, because women hover. So I think they're hovering, and they're the ones doing it because they sort of just sit over the toilet and it fucking shoots the wrong way. It's like the ones that go to probably Hungry. This was at Taco Bell. You'd see it a lot. I think they go and they hover over the toilet like this. And you know the toilet, you know where you flush it. Have you ever been in there and the wall and the flusher is just covered with fucking shit, like someone's thrown a fucking.
It's got to be from women. I agree. I think the women are shitting all over the place because they can't control. They can't aim They can't aim as well. You know.
And the thing is, too, women can't piss and not shit at the same time. I think because I hear women pissing and they always fart, so I don't think they can control two holes at once. If they're pissing out of one, the rear hole's activated as well. They can't sort of close the sphincter while they're pissing.
You can't synchronize it,
No. So, any women out there, can you piss without farting? I don't know. Well, men do it. You ever been in the toilet? Men go take a piss and you hear. I'm like, fucking hell, hold it in, mate. Hold it in. Fuck.
Don't push so hard. Yeah, when you're peeing. Yeah.
I know. That's disgusting.
Yeah, well, that explains a lot of like why when you go to the Arnold Classic or the Olympia and you go to those public toilets, and the walls are like covered with shit. I don't even like just.
You know the worst toilets.
You're right. People must lean over, Lee, and they don't realize they're not sitting. They're not pointing towards the toilet, and they just let it go, and it just.
And the motherfuckers have been eating protein bars for 2 days and all the other shit.
Creatine,
you know the worst
pre-workouts.
toilet. Yeah. The Arnold's bad, but you know the worst toilets for that when I went? The ones at FIBO. Holy fuck.
Oh, really? Oh, the European? I thought the Europeans would be not as bad.
Even Brazil. Even Brazil, because you know some of those countries where they have different people where they wipe their ass and they put it in the bin, they don't flush it.
Oh, yeah,
so you got the
right. Yeah. The
I'm
flies
like,
are all over the place.
Shit here. Like, why does it smell like shit? Then I see the bin beside the toilet, and all you see is toilet paper scrunched up with turds on it. I'm like, oh,
Brazil. That's Brazil. Yeah. They have a terrible sewer system there. They throw the toilet paper into the garbage pail there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And then the flies go crazy. You have flies everywhere. Like when you do that.
No wonder my stomach's off.
And then, well, you know, the Europeans, they smoke in the bath. Like you can't smoke it any place in America now. But the only thing worse than a shit smell is a shit smell with a cigarette smell on top of it. That's the only thing worse.
And then if you're in the bathroom over there, they say, "Are you European?" And they say, "No, I'm shitting." Get it? European?
Yeah,
no, I'm shitting.
I got it.
And then you say, I won't pee long. I'm here all day with the jokes. This is what happens when I'm sick. I'm drinking Barocca. This is 2 vitamin B tablets in water.
Oh, how come it's orange and not yellow?
It's orange flavored.
Oh, okay, all right. My wife said my wife got me all wound up about these, you know, because she always reading anything about the kids. Supposedly, all these artificial colors are really bad for your brain. Like
I've heard that.
Dementia.
Isn't red the worst?
Red's the word. Yeah, the red. So now we're not allowed to have like Gatorade. Well, I don't want it because I'm a neurotic, you know. Now I got rid of all the Gatorades. I was drinking all these Gatorades. I really like the grape ones. So now I'm afraid to drink anything with color. So I go with the clear Gatorade.
Oh, the clear ones, yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting Propel. I think Propel has a sugar-free drink, and so now and then I find out that I think she told me that I'm trying to think. Is it something that's clear actually really isn't clear? I can't remember if it was the clear Gatorades or something. Something clear was not really, even though it looked clear, it still had coloring agents in it. And so basically what the bottom line is that everything is bad for you now. There's nothing to say.
A lot of foods have all coloring in it too. When
they're saying that the fruits like strawberries are like the most toxic of any fruit because they like suck up all the pesticides. Because
have you noticed that? I was just saying this to a friend the other day because I have a friend that drives trucks and he goes up north and they have like Woolworths and Coles here, they're the supermarkets. They have a thing up where they store everything. Right. And he was told when he went up there, because they have all these different freezer compartments and fridges, they're like, never open that door, such and such, because if you do, the bananas, they've been in there for 6 months, the bananas on ice. That's why when I buy bananas now that are yellow, within 2 days they're brown, they got no taste. Half the fruit you get now has no taste. And I was saying to even flowers now, they're chemically making flowers. So I remember you go into a florist, or I'd buy my mum a bunch of flowers. You walk in, that's all you smell. Even flowers don't have smell now. It's all fucking, I think they're all 3D printed bullshit. You can't fucking do anything.
I didn't even think about it. You're right, though. The fruit, what they do is the gases, because I took a plant development class, the gases that the fruit releases are what make the fruit ripen. So if they can stop that from happening, like you said, putting them in cold freezer, preventing any kind of air in, then they won't ripen. They'll just basically stay in stasis in a sense.
Yeah. You know? I'm going to do it again. But when I was like a year ago, I was growing all my like some carrots and tomatoes and that. And the difference to homegrown tomatoes to the store ones, like they got no taste at the store. It's like, okay, I know I'm eating a tomato, but it's no taste. You grow them at home, you're like, oh, these are sweet. It's just like when you get chickens lay the eggs at home, they're all a bright orange yolk and that. Yeah. You get some of the ones from the grocery store and the yolk's like this pasty yellow fucking color. And it's like, ugh.
Well, supposedly, if you get a chicken egg right out of that's been laid, you don't even have to refrigerate them. They have some kind of something over the shell of a naturally born chicken egg that somehow gets destroyed. I think when they I don't know if they pasteurize the eggs or what do they do to the eggs?
I heard that too, because people always say, should you put? I heard that if you buy your eggs from the grocery store and they're in the fridge, when you get home, you got to put them in the fridge. But if they're not, you don't have to.
Yes. Yeah, I forget what the real. There's some kind of membrane around them that gets disrupted. I guess when they process them.
So what we're saying is the government's killing us with all the food. And again, this comes back to young men now. Their testosterone levels are all fucking dropping.
You know what the weird thing? The weird thing, Lee, is that the healthiest foods for you, or on paper the healthiest, vegetables, fruits, right? Those are the least healthy stuff because they have the most fucking toxins and pesticides in them. And the shit like that you get like that's got 4 million preservatives in it. That stuff's actually healthier for you because it doesn't have mercury, it doesn't have pesticides. Well, it just got some preservatives in it. That's all.
How many times
McDonald's French fries might last a year because of all the preservatives in them, but there's really nothing else in them,
But how many times do you see this though? The poor bastard, and they say too, eat 5 servings a day. We want to kill you quick, so get the food in. But you'll get the people that eat the salads, eat the vegetables, eat the, lean meat. 45, 50 have a heart attack. You get the ones that eat McDonald's, drink and smoke, 70 years old, and they're still fucking going.
Because I had this conversation with Jason Hutt. Jason Hutt, probably most of you guys know, is a really good bodybuilder. He got mercury poisoning because he was eating striped bass, which is supposed to be one of the healthiest fish. And he was eating striped bass a couple times a day, every single day. It was very expensive, but he didn't care. He went and got wild caught, and he just loved it, and he thought he was being all healthy. He wound up getting mercury poisoning from all the striped bass he ate. And now you know what he eats? He eats hamburgers every day. He eats burgers and fries, and he's fucking healthier than he was when he was eating the striped bass. So I don't know what to do. I mean, everywhere we turn, something's not good for you. You can't, even the vitamins, most of the vitamins suck out there. I mean, I'm in that industry. I know.
But it's like yesterday I was at the chemist and I was just going to get a sports multi, and I'm standing there and just in this one chemist, well, probably would have been like 20 different brands of sports multivitamins. I'm like, how the fuck do I know which one's better than the other one and this one?
They're all crapply. I'm telling you, I did so much research, especially the one-a-days. There's no way you can shove enough in one pill to give your body what it needs for the day. That's why V-Mineralize was always 10 pills a day, the serving size, because you can't get enough otherwise. It's a dose-related thing. But, it's depressing because I try to eat, and I know you eat well. We try to eat healthy. We try to eat the right foods. And then we find out that for the last 20 years, we've been eating foods that were tainted with all kinds of fucking crazy lead, arsenic, pesticides.
But it's like when all those sweeteners come out, or we're going to cut out sugar, be healthy, and go to this. Then it's like, oh no, they're bad for you. They cause dementia. They cause.
I don't believe. I don't believe that. That's bullshit. I don't believe that. You know what? They try to pull that. I had an argument with the nutritionist in the hospital. She was telling me how bad the sucralose and all these artificial sweeteners. I'm like, you are on a cardiac ward, okay, with people who have type 2 diabetes, nonetheless. And you're going to tell me that you think that they're better off having sugar than artificial sweeteners? Are you kidding me?
It's like anything. It's like one day they say coffee's bad. Next day, 3 cups of coffee a day is actually good for you. And then it's like okay. And then it was like chocolate bad. No, having some chocolates, or then the dark chocolate with the higher cocoa. You have some of that every day. That's good for you. Alcohol bad. No, couple of glasses of red wine. Oh, fucking hell. It's like, you know what? Hamburgers cause cancer. Going in the sun causes cancer.
You know what? I was drinking my red wine every day. This is because I'm a neurotic. So I love I have like a half a glass with dinner, right? Just for whatever. It relaxes me. And I figure it's good for your heart, right? That's that's all the research. Viagra. Blackman was always with the red wine. So I do that. And then they come out with this study that even one glass or half a glass of wine will cause early dementia. It'll destroy brain cells. Now I'm like, fuck, man. That's the.
We lost Dave. Well, what I was going to say, Dave, yesterday on the news, speaking of alcohol, the new big study, Dave, with alcohol is that the alcohol is now causing cervical cancer in women. So if you want to have cancer in the vagina, don't drink alcohol. That was on the news last night because they did studies. Isn't it just like, to me, it's like any study. You could get a whole group of people that have some sort of cancer and go, do you drink chocolate milk? 80% drink chocolate milk. Well, fuck, chocolate milk must be linked to cancer then. It's like...
head on the nail, because you know what? That's exactly what they do. They go back retrospectively and they ask all these people who have cancer, what did you do? What do you eat? What vitamins do you take? And then they make assumptions based on that, which is ridiculous. To think that, okay, well, just because all these people were doing the same thing, that must be causing cancer. The dumbest.
So I heard a thing the other day, with sadly Mike Quinn passing away. I've seen other comments, bodybuilders die. I was watching a thing the other day. I didn't realize they said every year 12 to 13 people, because this Australian guy, he was in an accident over here, lost the use of his legs, but then he got walking again. So his dream was to climb Mount Everest. He climbed Mount Everest, ran out of oxygen and fucking died. So good on you. It's like, but they said 12 to 13 people die pretty much every year climbing Mount Everest. So I'm thinking, well, that's more than bodybuilders. So don't climb Mount Everest.
Well, you know, if Mount Everest is the most dangerous mountain to climb, which it probably is one of the most because it's so high up, yet people do it anyway. I mean, they almost deserve to die, don't you think?
Yeah, especially too when you get that, when they say what your lungs can fill up with fluid and shit because of the altitudes and the altitude sickness.
It's like guys that are genetically superior compete on the Olympia stage. It would be like a guy who just got over cancer, who never worked out a day in his life, says, I want to compete on the Olympia stage. So I'm going to take all the drugs. I'm going to train the way these guys do. And then he drops dead in the gym of a heart attack. And everyone's like, oh, bodybuilding is so terrible for you. No, this guy should not have been training like a pro bodybuilder. I mean, you don't climb Mount Everest to prove that you're healthy again. You climb a smaller mountain. You don't have to climb Everest. Everest is the most dangerous mountain to climb.
Don't even climb Everest. Just go look at the Grand Canyon, you silly cunt.
There you go. Hike the Grand Canyon. Exactly. That's
just go to or just if you go to Everest, just go to the first base camp and look at it.
People got to do extreme things. They got to. You know what? I got over this heart attack, or I beat cancer, so I'm going to go run 16 marathons in a row.
And because you got over your heart attack,
and then they die. They drop dead of dehydration or electrolyte imbalance.
You know what you should do, Dave? Because you got the new valve in your heart and you're strong now. It's good.
No valve.
Every weekend you should do fucking couple of grams of cocaine because you're right.
No, it would be, you know, I got the new aorta. It would be like if I now went and I said, all right, I'm going to run 20 miles every day to prove to everyone that my heart is in great shape. Well, guess what? 20 miles every day is not healthy for a regular person who doesn't have anything wrong with their heart. So why in what God's name why would I do that? It's ridiculous.
What you should do is load up on Anadrol and go back to squatting 6-7 plates.
There you go. Yeah, that would help.
What could go wrong? All that pressure.
Exactly. No, but people do ridiculous things, you know. There was a guy.
They want to break the land speed record. Then, oh my God, he crashed the car.
There was a guy. Do you remember the guy Joe Baglio from Staten Island? Great guy.
I remember the name.
Joe Baglio loved bodybuilding so much. I helped him for a little while. He was a very, very good guy. You know.
Oh, so you killed him.
He had a heart. He needed a heart transplant. The guy got a heart transplant. Okay. Luckily, a donor became about. He got the heart transplant, and then he went back on the gear and competed. And he won his class at some Masters show or something like that, some Masters division. And he was cheering up like he won the Olympia. And he's like, now I'm going to the Nationals. And the fucking guy died a couple years later of, like, I don't know, some kind of organ failure. Like, you get a second chance at life. You know, you get a new heart. Like, you can go to the gym, but why do you have to fucking try to go for the Olympia? You know what I mean? People just...
Like I said, you get a second chance like that, get a new heart. Yeah, go to the gym for cardio, health, and light weights. But you know, that's why I was surprised when Don Long, when he had his transplant, that he made a comeback, and I'm like, why?
Well, no, you know what? He made in defense of Don Long, he made a comeback before he got the kidney transplant. He was on diurnal dialysis, so he figured, you know what? I don't have any kidneys anyway. There's nothing's going to get destroyed. I might as well do it. If I'm going to make a comeback, I'll do it now. And then after he did that comeback, that's when his wife turned out she was a donor, and he tried it. And he went for a sec because he originally had gotten a kidney, I think, from his sister, and his body rejected it. And then he went back and got another kidney. But he didn't compete after that. He got the kidney. He did this before he got the kidney, which was smart.
But still, I wouldn't have done. I would have been like, nah, maybe I shouldn't.
Well, Wheeler competed with the kidney transplant.
I wouldn't have done that either. It's like,
if
you get a second chance, like you said, just be grateful you got that second chance and make the most of it.
I know two people, not just one. I know two people that have gotten kidney transplants, and they needed to get, and now they need. Well, one of them needed to get another one because the other one was, I don't know if it was rejected or if it just got old and beat up, and he just got a new one. And then I know someone who's looking, who needs another one. He's only had his 15 years, so you gotta take care of what you got, because
like, I love bodybuilding, and I love bodybuilding. You love bodybuilding. We all looked a certain way, but like you said, if you get a second chance of life, there's time to let that go to past and how you used to look. But you can still come through it and get your heart transplant, your kidney transplant, like Flex did with his leg and that. But then go in another venture where you can still teach people, and you've got a different walk of life now, but you can still be active in the sport, but also be motivational for other people that are going through different problems and shit, rather than I'm making a comeback and I'm going to kill myself. Well, that's not what you plan on doing, but secretly that's what you're doing inside. If you,
Did you? I don't know if you know these people. Do you know who? She was a bikini competitor. No, I think she was a figure competitor. Her name was Lexi Kaufman. She went into I'll tell the story. I was always friends with her. I was always featuring her in RX Muscle. And when she first came up, she was competing as a teenager. And she wanted to get into the WWE. And at this during this time period, Triple H had been appearing at my Species Nutrition booth at the Arnold Classic for a couple of years. He was helping me out. And he went to there was an after party he went to with us. And we were in the VIP section, and she said, "Hey, can you introduce me? I really want to get into wrestling." So I introduced him, and he gave him the number of the talent. He's like, "She's perfect." He's like, "She's got a great physique. She's pretty. She's going to do well." And she wound up getting into the WWE. She's known as Alexis Bliss now. I don't know if you follow WWE at all. And let me pull this up. She's her and her, I guess, husband they're pregnant, or I don't know if they're married yet.
They're pregnant. He's pregnant.
She's pregnant. Oh. Yeah, I think he decided he wanted to carry the baby, so he's pregnant now. She's pregnant.
In this day and age, men can have babies. I heard in America.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very cool. But she was a competitor.
Yeah. Here's one you can look up. Look up. Is it Tammy Lynch or Tammy Cinch? She used to go by the name Sunny in the wrestling.
Okay.
Look her up, because I remember I met her once when I was at Gold's. Rich Mintzer come up to me and goes, "This girl wants to meet you," and that. I'm like, "Oh, does she?" I go up to the office. We're just chatting. Rich leaves the room and she just looks at me and goes, "I want to fuck you." I went, "What?" I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, I want to fuck you. Come to my hotel." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So she's staying at the Hotel Marina Del Rey. I went over there. Oh, man, she had the steak ready for me in the room, this and that. And we had crazy sex. And then every time she come to town, we'd have sex. Look her up. Her wrestling name was Sunny, but I think her real name was Tammy Cinch or Tammy Lynch.
You know what the funny thing is? I'm going to tell you. I swear to you, that's her, right?
Blonde hair?
Yeah. Now, you know what the funny thing was? I literally typed into Google Tammy, and her name came up. I mean, there's got to be much more famous Tammys than her. I don't know if it's because I had just searched the Alexis Bliss girl in the WWE, or if Google read my mind somehow. I don't know.
That looks more like a later picture, or only when she was in a wrestling. She used to wrestle with a guy who she was dating at the time with blonde hair. Yeah, that's her. And he ended up passing away. He died. She went through a bad stage too. She got hooked on drugs and stuff, and
she was arrested. I see they have an arrest thing here.
She put on a lot of weight for a while too. Got really heavy, and
I don't know. So you had sex with her multiple times. Is that what your point is?
Yeah, that's how I first met. She goes, "I want to have sex with you." I'm like, "Well, that's pretty straight to the point." But I said the most thing I remember about the most was every time I went to her hotel room, she'd say, what do I want ahead of time? So I'd give her an order. I'd get there. I'd have the nice filet mignon, chocolate cake. So this was better than the sex going there.
I was just gonna say, I said Lee, guaranteed Lee was turned off by the whole aggressive female part, but the free food was too much for him to pass up.
I know. I just give her a quickie and go eat.
That was a good little seto you had for a little while.
Yeah, but she's actually a nice girl.
Yeah,
Tammy, they're still around. Hello, wherever you are.
come to Australia. Make us some food. That's
any prime rib at the moment. Any prime.
Yeah, there you go. Now, the other story I wanted to bring up was Steve Weinberger, head judge of the Olympia and all the IPB pro shows. He was on Dennis James' podcast, the Menace podcast, with the Milos and then Cormier, and they would ask him about Ramy. And he basically said that, look, in his mind, Ramy should take a year off. He said because he's lost too much size on his arms, shoulders, back, and his legs are huge compared to the upper body. He's out of proportion. And he goes, I don't know if he can fix the problem, but he said the only way I see him really being able to do it is not to keep competing, but it's to take some time and go back to basics and put the size back on, if he's capable of. And you know what? I think he's 100% right. I think that Ramy, by continuously competing, he's not getting any better. Even Weinberger said, he goes, yeah, he was a little harder maybe at the Arnold, but he wasn't better than he was at the Olympia. So that's why he got the placing he got. What do you feel about that?
I think too, sometimes you get these people now who constantly train and you're pounding your body constantly, whether it be taking the special supplements as well and training heavy all the time. Maybe just even needs to lighten it up a bit, give his body a bit of rest, because you just keep damaging, breaking the muscle down and doing shit like that. Sometimes your body might just need a little bit of a break. Just still keep training, but just don't keep training with that.
Oh, he said to train. He should train, but he should just train like all out, like heavy, pushing yourself back to basics. Which that's exactly what we've said.
And I see a lot of things pop up too, because they talk about his back. I saw someone was talking about Sergio's back, and I'm thinking, I think people are just starting to see back, and everyone's on about nerve damage. They had two pictures of Sergio. I said, his back looks the same. The only difference is this last show he did, his back's a little bit watery and it's shit lighting compared to the other lighting. But I think now people are just grasping for straws. It's like, how can their back muscles all of a sudden just disappear? He's got nerve damage. Ramy has nerve damage. I was like, oh, fuck off with your fucking nerve damage. You silly cunts have brain damage.
I think these guys are just not training with free weights anymore. And I think a lot of guys are depending on machines too much, and they're losing that full, dense look that they had prior.
How many times did you, when we come up, all we ever saw in the magazines were barbell row, Dorian doing barbell row, heavy T-bar. Now you see this, a guy getting the cable.
No,
I'm feeling. Oh, let me do this side. I'm feeling it. Oh, yeah, that's really getting it. Oh, that's getting
machines. The technology we have to make exercise machines is great, and it's terrible. It's great if you have injuries and you're older and you want to have some nice machines. It's terrible.
They're great to maintain. Great to maintain and just stay healthy. But it's like that's all we ever saw in the old days was heavy dumbbell row, barbell row, T-bars. Now people do a T-bar, but it might be where you lay on the thing.
Think about it. If you were 25, hold on. I'm going to give you a scenario. You're 25 years old, Lee. I give you $150,000, and I say, here, you have to spend this money on building a gym for yourself. I'm not giving it to you so you can put it in the bank or go buy a car for yourself. Okay. Now you're 25. You're trying to be a pro bodybuilder, or maybe you are a pro bodybuilder, but you're still growing. What equipment are you going to buy? Give me the top 10 pieces of equipment you're going to buy with that money.
Right. I'd have just the basic dumbbell rack with all the dumbbells.
Okay.
I'd have a power rack so you can do whatever in it you need.
Correct.
When it comes to machines, the only machines I would have would be a leg press, a hack squat, a leg extension, leg curl, and the other machine I'd have would just be like the multi-station lat pull down, seated row, and maybe a pec deck. Everything else you can do free weights. That'd be it. That'd be it. I wouldn't be having any this machine, that machine, this back machine hits at this angle. It's like if you're doing fucking heavy barbell rows, trust me, you're hitting the back from every fucking angle. It's like that's why I get so many questions now. People, I think it was even on Fuad was saying it, but I've been saying it for years. People are overcomplicating it. People that are starting out who don't even have the muscle are saying, Lee, how can I target this little bit here of my inner chest? I'm like, how about you just train your fucking chest? Worry about that shit later. It's like, oh, I just want to hit this little muscle at the back of my. How about you just go do shoulder presses and work your shoulder? Don't worry about the little things.
I see guys at the gym. They do every single back machine in the gym.
Yeah.
Not one person is doing bent over barbell rows. Mm-hmm. Not one person is doing one arm dumbbell rows. But they're hitting 16 sets on each fucking machine. They're on there for 20 minutes each thing. And so there's training for 3 hours in the gym on all machines. And then their back looks like absolute shit.
Well, I used to think back in the day when I trained with Ira to train Louis for the shows, we would do like start with chin-ups, like wide grip, and then the close grip where you go on side to side. We'd do the T-bar row that you'd always see Arnold do at World Gym there. Would do dumbbell rows and row it out so I go a little bit in front to
People
get the stretch.
Hate that because it hurts, but those are great for lower back.
And then barbell. And I think the only, like I said, the only machine we actually used would be the lat pull down, which I do wide or reverse, and then the seated row. Everything else was, like I said, chin ups, dumbbell row, barbell row.
It's not really it's not a machine. It's a cable. It's a cable movement.
And then the only back machines Joe really had was later on he got the hammer ones, the pull down ones. And then he had, I think, one of those Cybec ones where it had the handles here or out here, so you could row it.
Right, but you would use that as like a fifth movement. That's not going to be your
I always
first
use
movement.
The machines last, just like a medium weight to really squeeze and pump it. Or sometimes maybe go super light just to warm the lats up and then go to your heavy basics. And it's like that on everything because how many gyms now have so many leg machines? It's like, just do extensions, go do heavy leg press or squats or a hack and that. You're going to do it. That's why I can't, when I see all these fucking butt blasting machines now and all this shit where I'm thinking, if you just did fucking normal squats or lunges, I did squats for the first time the other day on a Smith machine. I went to 3.5 plates. 2 days later, I'm like, fuck, my glutes, my hammies, they're all fucking sore as fuck. When I see men laying there going,
I hate that machine, Lee. I hate that thruster machine.
I feel like walking over and just punching them in the fucking dick when they fucking doing that.
I hate that machine. I really do.
I've seen girls in the gym, tiny girls who probably weigh 130 pounds.
Like 60 plates on there, yeah.
I mean, but they'll be on, but even the old barbell, I put a barbell across their waist with 4 or 5 20s each side.
They think they're going to build their ass. Just squat.
I'm thinking, you're going to fuck your lower back up too. I'm thinking, what the fuck? No. But then they put a towel over their pussy because they know they're fucking showing the muff every time they go up in the air. Guys are thinking, oh, look at her go.
Maybe they're really doing it for sexual reasons, Maybe they're having like orgasms on that.
They're too into themselves. They aren't fucking anyone. They'd be fucking themselves.
No, I'm saying maybe they're having like masturbation orgasms on the machine with the weights, pushing against that little crotch area there.
It's hard not to look when they get on that. Or some gyms, as you walk in, they'll have their hip abductor or facing the wrong direction. You try not to look that way.
Yeah. I was really wanted to show this video, but I know the guy who's training this girl who's a top level bikini competitor will be very pissed off. And I'm not looking to make any enemies. This girl is doing in or out of thigh machine, the adductor machine. And this guy's face is right like 6 inches from her fucking crotch, like this, like he's helping her, like she needs help to do the in or out of thigh machine. How fucking hard is the in or out of thigh machine?
What about the ones? What about the ones that you meant to sit down in it, right, and do it? You're going in and out, in and out. What about the ones that stand up and hold the weight stack and they stand up and do it like this, like they're squatting over it? And like, what the fuck's that? But there used to be a guy.
Lee, this guy's face was like, it was this close.
I used to go to this
and
Planet
they were
Fitness.
videotaping. It was on freaking Instagram. I couldn't believe that this guy was not embarrassed by the fact that his face.
There used to be this guy over Planet Fitness. I forget what they had a nickname for him, but every girl he trained, he would like stretch them out. So they'd be on their back with their legs spread. He'll be here, and his groin's almost in their groin. And then he does that one where they're laying on their back, and he puts their leg on his shoulder. So one leg's down, one leg's on his shoulder, and his cock's about this far off her fucking pussy, and he's pushing it down like this, stretching her leg. Oh my God, how he never had a sexual harassment case is fucking beyond me, because I'm just looking at him going, oh my God.
Maybe they liked it. Yeah. All it takes is one woman who calls the cops on you. That's you could have 30 girls who enjoy it, and then one person thinks you're sexually harassing them.
Or the one girl's boyfriend walks in one day and goes, "What the fuck?"
I don't know why people do shit like that, because everything is filmed nowadays. You can't even deny it anymore because everything's on fucking film.
Yeah.
You know, whether the security cameras everywhere got it or some guy's filming it. You look like
same as in the car. You can't do anything in public if you're going to go kill someone and get rid of the body. Someone's dash cam's going to fucking get you going somewhere.
You know what? The most embarrassing thing that you could possibly be, arrested for or charged with is being a pervert. That's got to be the most embarrassing. Like you're better off killing someone at that point. A pervert is worse than killing someone. I'm sorry, because people just are like, what a loser. You know what I mean? You're like, it's like there's nothing that can redeem you for being a pervert or a pedophile or anything like that. That's got to be the worst. So knowing that, why would you in the gym training someone, even if you're into the girl or whatever, you think you're going to score a point, you don't do it in the gym. It's just everyone's looking at you. People, you don't know who's filming you. You never want to be brandished a fucking pervert. I guess unless you're a pervert.
Look how many massage therapists or dentists get caught, with their clients and patients because they try to touch them up when they're fucking. The girl wakes up from having a fucking tooth done. She's like, oh, why's my pussy so sore? It's like, what happened?
Why is my ass so sore? Why is my ass hurting me so much? Yeah.
I hate the ones I really hate now is all these girls doing this shit where they film themselves in the gym, and if a guy looks that way, they start abusing the guy. I'm like, you're getting upset because he's looking at you. You're hardly wearing any clothes. You're filming yourself. He looks at you. But what you're filming, you're going to put that online for fucking people to look at. But you're getting mad because he's looking at you fucking filming it. You stupid whore.
We live in such a messed up world. The truth is that, you know what? Anyone who does anything in public nowadays is out of their mind, because you have to assume that at all times you are being filmed. Assume it. If you're not, then you're lucky that you weren't. But assume that at all times. So you have to conduct yourself professionally, even if you are a pervert, pedophile, fucking rapist. You don't do it in public, okay? Because everyone's watching you. And you know what? I always want to go up to these people in the gym and say something to them, like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But you know what? I'm like, I just don't give a shit anymore. And you know what? If the gym people who run the gym are not going to say anything to them, I'm not saying anything.
Well, I saw on the Memorial Weekend in Florida, because Florida's a dangerous place for people to go. Yeah. It's like,
especially
I saw there was the shooting down there, but between lots of people. So I will make a public service announcement. If you are black, Florida is a very dangerous place to go, because other black people will kill you, like Chicago and everywhere else. The biggest threat to black people is other black people. You can look at the statistics. I know they hate to hear this, but when you look at it, it ain't white people after you. Yeah. It's your own brothers and sisters that are killing you. So sort that shit out.
White people shoot white people. Black people shoot black people.
Asians kill.
There's a lot of crazy fucking people out there. And you know what? It's scary because you know what? I have kids. You have a daughter. God forbid anything happened to my kids, I would go crazy and probably murder. Commit murder, and I'd be in jail for the rest of my life.
It's just nuts. The way they're still talking about it the other day again on us. What was I watching? Something. You know who's the worst? They put it on again. Oh, fuck me dead. The View. That's Sunny. What's her name? Sunny Holston or whatever her name is on the.
I can't watch. Oh
my God. She was going on the other day now about. She was saying, about Kamala Harris. That's right. Because I was saying, she's going to run, and she goes, people won't vote for her. And other views like, why? Because she's a black woman. They're like, you think that would matter? This is America. This is America. It does matter. They will not vote for a black person. I'm like, was there a black president? I'm
Was
like,
there a black president? Yeah, just recently. Yeah, maybe you forgot about
but really,
that.
Kamala, she was Indian one time, remember? Remember when
She's
she got
I think she's every race pretty much, depending on who she's talking to. She's
well,
the
when
same
she
race.
got sworn in, remember, her parents were there with the red dot on their head. Indian.
Yeah.
First Indian ever. Then she becomes vice president. She's the first black. It's like, what's her name was on the other day? Who's that woman, Warren, who says she's Cherokee Indian or something?
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren. Fuck me dead. She's
Yeah,
another nutter. That's like...
No one wants to say anything. No one cares about their race until they can benefit from it. That's really what it amounts to. Imagine if you could have like 1/16 Cherokee Indian in you, and you know what? If you're trying to apply to college, guaranteed you're going to put it on the application because
look at that here in Australia right now with the Aborigines here. It's like the ones that have 2%. If 2%, they're wider than me. Some are red hair and freckles. And they're like, you don't know what it's like to be Aboriginal. I'm like, neither do you cunt. You're fucking red hair with freckles. They probably get more shit because you're a fucking ranger, not because you're... But they're the ones that cause all the problems because they're like, I can get free this, I can get free that. It's like, I've said it 100 times before. We take it for granted, us Australians, and so do Americans, that they say, oh, these countries are racist, but yet all these minorities want to come live here because they see the opportunities. We take it for granted. So you got all these people that live in America, whether they're white Americans, African Americans, whatever, black Americans, that's what you are. But it's like, they're like, all these people come take our jobs. I'm like, no, these people are coming from countries that literally have nothing. They've come to America or Australia. They see, wow, if I do this, I can become this. And they do it. I'm like, you have the same opportunities, but you don't want to fucking go out there and do it.
No one wants to work. That's why no one.
I said, no matter who you are in America today, whatever race you are, whatever, if you're not where you want to be in life, it's because of you. No one's holding you back. You can do whatever you want, but they're like, oh, this person, that person. It's like, no. It's like I said, if you are a descendant from slaves, do them proud because what they went through was fucking terrible, being slaves. But then they got freed. They ventured out through America, had families. Years later, you're born in one of the greatest countries in the world. Don't sit there being a fucking dick. Go out and make something of yourself. Make your ancestors proud that what they went through, you've accomplished something. Going, oh, I want reparations. I'm going to sit here. I can't do nothing. No, fuck off, you lazy cunt.
You're absolutely 100% right. People like to.
And if I offend anyone, I don't care. It's my fucking stomach bug. It's affecting my brain.
Now your brain's got something wrong with it before the stomach bug. Believe me.
Oh, has it? Oh, okay. Maybe.
But I will say this: if you guys would like to see Lee Priest guest pose at the Olympia this year, put it in the comments below. Reach out to Jake Wood, Dan Solomon. Tell them we want Lee. We want Lee.
And Kai Greene is going to make a big skit. We can make a big production. Remember before the Arnold Classic? Remember the Arnold Classic would always have stupid acts sometimes, and you go, oh, not these fucking idiots coming to balance on their heads again and shit like that. It was like, if you had some older bodybuilders like myself, Kai, and different people come out and do a really good skit, I mean, like really good production value, it would be great. It'd be like a live, it's when you go to like Universal Studios and they have those live shows where people are dressed up and they do the shows and stunt shows. Yeah. It's great. It'd be like a live DC Marvel movie on stage for like 10 minutes or so.
In Rocky, where the promoter guy, grabs Rocky and he goes, Rocky, do you believe that America is the land of opportunity? Yeah. Apollo Creed does too. That guy looks like Dan Solomon. Dan Solomon should be like, Lee Priest, do you believe that America is the land of opportunity? Well,
I'll say no, Dan.
Jake Wood does too. And we're going to give you the opportunity to guest pose on the biggest day in the bodybuilding world, the Mr. Olympia competition.
Curtains open up. There's like all these crystals there, like the Fortress of Solitude. And I'm standing there in the middle. All you see is the red cape lit up. Oh, it's getting exciting already, isn't it, Dave? Oh.
I love it. I love the idea. If you guys want to see Lee Priest, reach out to the Olympia people. Tell them, give us Lee Priest. For now, we're out of time. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Lee, I hope you're feeling better over the next couple of days. I'm finishing up my
My
antibiotics
stomach's
today.
my stomach's just gurgling, sitting here. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Just don't shit on your toilet seat when we hang up. Make sure you know.
Well, if I
you
shit
make-
on it, then I'll sit on it straight after. Make like.
By the way, how's your wife doing? Because she wasn't feeling too good the other day when we did the show.
Well, she was feeling okay, but now because I've been sick, she woke up this morning and she's like, she's not feeling the best. So maybe whatever I've had, I'll give it to her. So
she had the edibles and then all the alcohol. How did she get through that night? All right.
She was okay. She slept okay. She had something, but then yesterday she was feeling a little bit off, and this morning she's not the best. So maybe I've passed it on to her.
I'm sure you did.
It's the gift that just keeps on giving.
You know why?
Like
because you're selfish. You had to. It wasn't bad enough that you got sick. You had to get everyone in the house sick. Probably got the dog sick too. I'm sure.
It's like when you got little kids. When the kids come home with a little sickness from school, everyone gets it.
I believe it. I know all about that. Unfortunately, especially the first 6 months when they were really young. They pick their nose and they eat it and they rub it. They don't wash their hands.
Dad, I love you.
Exactly. All right. Got to wrap today up. Hopefully enjoyed today's show. If you did, well, we'll be back next week. If you didn't, fuck you. Don't watch the show.
Where was Jimmy today? Where was Jimmy?
Jimmy had to work. He said he's going to be. What he really wants to do is I got him back on tomorrow with Leslie on Iron Therapy. He's enjoying the therapy sessions. He said.
I liked the first one. It was actually good. It was opening up. It was actually pretty good.
He has a lot more to tell. He said so. Tomorrow will be part 2. So
good. I look forward to it.
All right. We'll see you guys again back next week. For now, I'm Dave Palumbo with Lee Priest for another installment of Iron Raid.